Hello guys, this is Roger69501 and welcome to my channel and welcome to my Futures and Recap. And the first one I'm going to be talking about will be issue number 17. Now check out that cover, just awesome cover. Well, before I start I want to say that this new format that I'm doing on this type of video, specifically on the Futures and One Shot. Well, I'm going to use it for these special events. I'm going to use this format, or not format, I can call it the way, something different. But for the rest of the book, I'm going to give you my thoughts as on my table. Also, I haven't done a video on my thoughts from the last 2 weeks or week ago. Well, to be honest with you, by the time I got the comics, well, they were too late for the past 2 weeks. So hopefully this week I will get it early, where the day that I'm supposed to get them. So let's get started with Futures and issue number 17. Well, here we go with Constantine to north of Africa. Actually, Horn of Africa. And when they get there, they see, as we can see, there's a tribe or town that got destroyed. Everybody died, or somebody killed them, something or someone. And then from there, they just talk, nothing special going on. It's just that Constantine, he feels something that he should follow the noise. So that's what they do. Then from there we go to Cadmus Island, where we see that Hawker from Earth 2, she's being apprehended and sent to Cadmus. And she's talking with the Doctor Who's. Actually, they have a history together. Obviously that they knew each other from Earth 2. And apparently they don't like each other. And one of the OMAC machine just killed the Doctor, which was fun. And then from there we go to the prison of Cadmus. You see, the whole thing about Cadmus is like they have every single superhero, and I assume all the supervillains, locked up on some special cell in Cadmus Island. As you can see, I mean, I was wondering how they can be, but each cell is designed for that. As we can see here, we can see Power Girl here. This one looks like not Superman, the one that used the helmet. Forgot his name, it don't matter. Anyway, the point is that they all get loose or escape. And there's a big fight between the Earth 2 and the people from Cadmus Island. And then from there we go to Vancouver, British Columbia, where we see Barda, Big Barda, and Emiko, which happens to be Green Arrow's sister, or half-sister, which I'm not sure if it is his sister or half-sister. I'm not quite sure on the story. So they're just there, and then from there we see that Rampage is on the loose on the city, and she's fighting Superman, the Max Superman. There's a big fight going on, which eventually, I mean, I have to say that the art is great. As you can see, love the art, like the colors, everything. So I like this. After the fight finished, at least I get to find out who was the masked Superman, who happens to be no other than Billy Watson. Yep, that's him, Shazam. And then from there we go back to Africa. So Constantine is in the middle of the desert, with his team, and everybody's worried about him. Like, look, what are we doing here? And Constantine said, look, we have to stay here because something will happen. And as you can see here, guess who shows up under the earth and the water? Yep, Clark Kent. or Kal-El. So where he was, we don't know yet. But I'm excited that the real Superman is back. And then from here we go to issue number 18. And here's issue 18. Check that out. Now we see Constantine sitting in the middle of the desert using his trench coat as an umbrella. So we're back to Africa. We see that Superman is talking with Constantine. And we see that Superman, he's using his power to plant, to have like a giant garden, to feed the people in that area. Now, the thing is that this story continues from one of the books of Futures and One Shot. Actually, it's a continuation from Action Comics, Futures and One Shot. So where that story finished, this one continues from Action Comics. So as like I said, so we can see that the dirt is more fertile. So he starts planting stuff. They have a small argument, and then from there we go to Metropolis, where we see Billy Watson. That he finally, on his mind at least, we think that he managed to subdue Rampage, but nope. The fight continue. The fight still continue, and then we see Stormguard saving Billy Watson. Big fight. I have to say that this issue was really good. And then from there, we see Stormguard talking with Billy Watson, and then from there we go to the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I mean, this Future End, we get to travel a lot, not just that we go 5 years in the future. We get to be all around the world, which in a way is good, and the other way, well, it's not that good, because kind of there are times where the story get lost with all this traveling. Excuse me. So we see Emiko and Big Bart. They finally arrive to a small island in the middle of the Pacific. To guess what? Once that they arrive, guess who they meet? Green Arrow, where he's supposed to be dead on the beginning of Future's End. Remember that? Well, happens to be that actually he never died, in a way. And we see Red Arrow also. Excuse me. So from there we go to Katmut Island, where Katmut Island is already being overgrown. A lot of people are not too happy. We see Deathstroke also, and suddenly we see Power Girl, as we can see here. And then we go. I have to say that this 50 Sue, this little girl, she's very, very powerful. I'm beginning to think that is Darkseid's daughter. I would be surprised that it is Darkseid's daughter, because she used more or less the same type of beams as Darkseid. Not the same way, but she has some powerful beams, so kind of reminds me of Darkseid. Anyway, and she's talking to Brother Eye, the machine that is out of space. And then from there we go to the building of Mr. Terrific Tech, where we get to see Batman from the future with Plastic and the other two members of the gang, because they want to break in and try to destroy the Brother Eye. And that was it. It was the end of so far of this week of Futures End issue number 18. Well, guys, I hope that you like this video. See you later. Bye.